This is KVUE News Daybreak.
We believe that General Flynn was compromised with respect to the Russians.
Former Acting Attorney General Sally Yates says she warned the White House about the president's first national security advisor, why she says Michael Flynn could have been blackmailed.
And Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filing a lawsuit against certain Austin City officials. This morning, the issue he's taking to a U.S. District Court.
And overnight, a brawl breaks out at an airport. What happened that caused all this chaos? Good Tuesday morning to you, and thank you for joining us for Daybreak at 6 a.m. I'm Brian May.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. And Navid Reyes has your eye on the roads, but we want to begin with weather. We could see some showers today. Meteorologist Erica Lopez is tracking that. They have you as Ka Lopez, so maybe we need to change your name to Ka. It's like Cher. Just say Ka.
That's okay. I'm used to them butchering my name. Well, hey, even some patchy drizzle could be possible as you're heading out the door this morning. Temperatures in the 60s. Keep in mind it's humid. Another muggy start to your morning. Lots of clouds out there. 20% chance of an isolated shower. Here's what it looks like this morning for the Hill Country. Some 60s across the Hill Country, 67 in Enchanted Rock. Harper, you're the coolest at 64 degrees right now. Austin, 67. We're slowly warming up. 61 in Taylor. As for the eastern counties, also around the 60-degree mark. So temperature's not too bad. It's really just the humidity that's going to continue to stick around. As long as we have a southeast wind, that's going to be the story. 20% chance of an isolated shower is in your forecast for the entire day. Not everyone's going to see a spotty shower, but we do have a 20% chance of possibly an isolated storm. Your rush hour forecast, this is what it looks like. Shouldn't affect your morning commute. Turning things over, speaking of traffic, to Navid Reyes.
Absolutely. More of you guys are hitting the roads now. This is 183 at Clock Tower Drive. Traffic is definitely picking up traveling on that highway. Let's go ahead and get a closer look of this crash we are monitoring. This is Airport Boulevard at I-35. This is traveling northbound. You can see that accident is affecting those lanes at this time. This is a closure I want to let you know about. Eastbound and westbound lanes, 71 night-time closures. It will take an effect today until Friday. Again, traveling eastbound and westbounds at nighttime. Guys, back to you.
Navid, thank you. All new this morning, investigators trying to figure out what sparked a fire in a vacant home in South Austin. The fire broke out just after midnight on Cherrydale Drive near William Cannon and Manshack. The house on the market to be sold. No one was living there and no one was hurt. The fire started in the attic and destroyed about 40% of the roof.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is taking legal action against several Austin City officials who stand against Senate Bill 4, which Governor Greg Abbott signed it into law on Sunday night. The measure bans so-called sanctuary cities and would require law enforcement to comply with federal requests to hold criminal suspects while their immigration status is investigated. Paxton is asking a U.S. District Court to uphold SB 4 as constitutional. Paxton says the suit will help prevent opponents from filing multiple lawsuits. And named in this suit, Travis County Sheriff Sally Hernandez, the City of Austin, Austin City Council member Greg Kassar, Austin Mayor Steve Adler. Mayor Adler says he welcomes the legal motion and says he will continue to speak on the community's behalf regarding SB 4, which is set to go into effect September 1st. To read statements from other city officials in response to this lawsuit, go to our website, KVUE.com.
Opponents aren't backing down from their fight against the Sanctuary Cities bill, which they say opens the door to discrimination against the immigrant community in Austin.
Hey, hey, oh, ho, SB 4 has got to go.
Yesterday, protesters took to the streets near the governor's mansion. This time, state leaders and a Texas congressman joined them for the fight. Austin City Council member Greg Kassar, State Rep Rafael Anchia, and U.S. Congressman Lloyd Doggett were with the crowd yesterday. They all say that the bill will not hold up in court. In addition to requiring all Texas law enforcement to honor ICE detainers, Senate Bill 4 will allow police to ask people who are detained about their immigration status. Critics say it amounts to racial profiling, but supporters say the law keeps people safe.
When Travis County changed its policy earlier this year to only hold on to suspects for federal immigration agents under certain situations, the governor's office stripped Travis County of $1.5 million in grant funding. And as KVUE's Jay Wallace tells us this morning, county commissioners are looking at how to keep vital programs running without that money. It's going to be difficult, though, right, Jay?
Yeah, that's right. This proposal, it's being brought to the table in response to Governor Abbott making those cuts. Back in February, around the time of those cuts, the Travis County Commissioner's Court came up with a plan to extend those services until May 15th, this upcoming Monday. So now today, they're looking to extend it again to continue those services and keep them intact. Now, to give you a better idea of what this proposal would look like, take a look at this graphic here. When the governor slashed grant funding, that cut off money for programs for certain juvenile courts, drug diversion and prostitution prevention programs, and veterans courts. Those would now be supported and support about 3,500 people while avoiding more than 4,000 people in our jails. The county's planning and budgeting office found that through their reorganization, there would be a reduction of costs to taxpayers without significantly impacting any of these programs, which the county is now planning to keep running by shifting around the budget. That's what this vote revolves around today. Now, this morning, we do not know if Travis County will get that money back. It could happen. But with SB 4 now going into effect as of September 1st, and Sheriff Sally Hernandez saying she will back and support and abide by that law, that means that this county shouldn't be punished by the governor or by his policy anymore. Live in Austin, Jay Wallace, KVUE News.
Well, President Donald Trump still facing challenges on his revised temporary travel ban. On Monday, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in Virginia heard arguments on the executive order, which temporarily restricts travel and blocks new visas from 6 countries. As ABC's Janae Norman reports, the outcome not exactly what the Trump administration was hoping for.
New details about the national security concerns that rocked the early days of the Trump presidency. Former Acting Attorney General Sally Yates testifying she met twice with White House counsel to warn that then National Security Advisor Michael Flynn might have been lying to the White House and had discussed President Obama's sanctions against the Kremlin for election meddling with the Russian ambassador, despite telling the vice president he hadn't.
The vice president was unknowingly making false statements to the public, and because we believed that General Flynn was compromised with respect to the Russians. We believe that the Russians knew this, and that created a compromise situation, a situation where the national security advisor essentially could be blackmailed by the Russians.
But Flynn remained on the job for 18 days after the initial warning, even participating in a phone call between President Trump and Vladimir Putin. In that time, it was Yates who was fired for not defending Trump's controversial Muslim travel ban.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Monday, a panel of appeals court judges hearing a challenge to the travel ban, deciding whether Trump's past anti-Muslim statements could be used against him.
He's never repudiated what he said about the Muslim ban. It's still on his website.
As of Monday, a controversial statement was still posted on President Trump's website calling for a complete shutdown of Muslim immigration to the U.S. But within minutes of ABC News asking the White House press secretary about that, it was taken down. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Overnight, we learned that the United States is considering expanding an electronics ban for all European flights, a ban already in place preventing most devices larger than a cell phone on flights coming to the U.S. from 10 airports in the Middle East and in North Africa. The new ban would be on devices larger than a cell phone on all transatlantic flights. A decision could come within the next few weeks. Take a look at this video from Fort Lauderdale, the airport there overnight. Complete chaos. Frustrated passengers let their tempers get the best of them after Spirit Airlines canceled several flights. The airline says it didn't have the crews and blamed the unions for the backlog. They're in the middle of contract negotiations.
6:08, and the family of a man shot and killed by 2 Austin police officers over the weekend are sharing their thoughts on the shooting and their loss.
We still in shock. I mean, everybody's just hurt right now. We all consider each other brothers and sisters.
It happened on 6th Street around 2:30 Sunday morning. Investigators say 24-year-old Landon Nobles fired a gun into the air after a heated argument and then at officers while they chased him. The officers returned fire. His family, who also witnessed the incident, says there's more to the story than what police are saying. His cousin says he saw an officer throw a bicycle at Robles, causing him to fall down.
A bicycle, and she threw it at him, like at his legs, and he kind of fell. When he fell, a gun went off.
They use deadly force, and that's not right.
Austin police identified Robles as the shooter by using public safety cameras. The family is now demanding police release those videos to see exactly what happened. Both officers are on administrative leave while the department investigates.
The University of Texas urging students to report any offensive flyers found on campus. One found on West Campus this week reads "Frats Bash Back" and features a picture of a student who had been stabbed to death on campus last week. Also urges Greek life students to form safety squads to protect themselves from, quote, the anti-white establishment on campus. University police aware of the flyers but are not looking into it because it was posted off campus. Time now to get a check of that forecast once again with Erica Lopez. Hi, Erica.
Hey there. Well, once again, a muggy start to our morning. That's going to be the story for the next 2 mornings. This time we do have a 20% chance of some patchy drizzle, maybe some isolated showers for your morning commute. So a couple of raindrops on your windshield. Just don't be surprised as you're heading to work. 66 at ABIA, 67 for Camp Mabry. Dew points in the lower 60s, but still an increase from what we saw yesterday. And a few degrees warmer than yesterday morning also. San Marcos, a 77-degree warm-up, as well as Llano than the last 24 hours. Here's how Tuesday is going to play out. Lots of clouds out there, but we are going to factor in a 20% chance of a passing shower. Keep in mind, not everyone will see an isolated shower, but just don't be alarmed. It's pretty muggy and saturated out there. Here's our KVUE photo of the morning. This one goes out to Texas Gypsy Soul. On Instagram, they used the hashtag KVUE, so we're able to share it here on Daybreak with you. A mesmerizing sunset yesterday. Let us know how you're enjoying the weather, the outdoors. Let us know what's going on, and we'll be able to feature them on Daybreak, all your photos. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, as we say here in Texas sometimes, that sure is purty. It's a purty shot. I say it too. Well, Google has a special headline today, and it's in honor of our educators. If you didn't know, today the country celebrates our teachers. So we want to wish a happy National Teachers Day to all the educators out there watching this morning. We know you do such a tremendous job. It's difficult.
I bet they're as excited that school's almost out as the students are.
My kid's teacher is like 15 more days. She even has like a countdown clock, and I don't blame her.
I don't either. I don't
either. Well, a local neighborhood is seeing an increase in car vandalism incidents.
That's right. This morning, who police think is responsible and what they're using to get into your car. And a flyer for a Texas gym raising some eyebrows. Parents say it fat shames children. How the gym's owners responded.
But first, it's shocking video. A woman body slammed and thrown into a pool after she complained about loud music at a party. Coming up, we're going to hear from that woman and what happened to the teenager who did it.
Welcome back, 6:14. Tough video to watch here. A teen caught on camera body slamming a woman before throwing her into a swimming pool. That teen facing charges this morning. This happened back on Saturday at a South Florida apartment complex during a pool party. The 68-year-old woman walked out to the pool to ask the party goers to turn the music down. That's when a 16-year-old picked her up and slammed her to the ground.
Kids are kids, no matter what. They're going to have parties, they're going to have this. I didn't care. Just lower the music. Just shouldn't happen. The kid just has not evolved yet into what you're supposed to be as a human being.
Now, the woman is doing okay this morning, but she has bruises from the incident. The teen facing battery charges for his actions.
6:15, police in Arizona say they have a serial killer in custody. 23-year-old Aaron Juan Saucedo is now facing 26 charges in connection with 12 shootings in Phoenix that happened between August of 2015 and July of last year. 9 of those victims died from the attacks. Officials say Saucedo stalked his victims after dark and killed people who were either outside of their homes or sitting in cars. They arrested him on Monday. Police say there may be additional victims out there.
Pflugerville police investigating a string of vehicle vandalism across the city. They say people using rocks, BB guns, and bats to break car windows. They think those responsible are young, white, or Hispanic men, possibly driving a dark-colored pickup. If you know anything, call Pflugerville police.
In the next 2 weeks, officials at an Austin cemetery plan to start exhuming and reburying human remains. Archaeologists discovered bone fragments during a renovation of the Oakwood Cemetery's chapel last November. The 1914 building is next to Pauper's Field, the traditional burial section for African Americans during the 19th century.
Middle school can be tough for any kid, especially when it comes to making new friends. But for one Houston kid, it's gotten a whole lot easier thanks to a fellow student. This 6th grader says he's never owned an expensive pair of shoes, and some students have picked on him for that. So an 8th grader who he had never met before surprised him with a big gift.
I just wanted to step up for him, so I went up to him. I showed him a picture of the shoes I had, and I asked him, "Do you like these shoes?" He said, "Yeah," and I told him, "I got you tomorrow."
And what did you think when you saw those shoes?
I was really excited because I never had the Jordan shoes. I feel real happy.
I even told him, as long as you remember this day for the rest of your life, just remember that no matter how many bad people there are always people who will help you down the long run.
That's right. He gave the student a pair of Jordans he can call his own now, and that's proof sometimes one helping hand can make all the difference.
A smart little kid.
They're buddies now, I bet you anything. Good story, absolutely.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys are enjoying the weather we've had so far, some cooler temperatures at least. But what's changing is the rain shower chances in our forecast. 20% chance for today. It's gloomy and sticky out there. Lots of clouds. That's going to be the case for the next couple of days. 66 ABIA, 67 for Camp Mabry. And dew point's a little bit muggier than yesterday. It's still because of that high pressure that's south and east of us. That's bringing in some Gulf moisture into our viewing area. So increasing clouds, some scattered showers developing closer to the coast around the Houston metro area. But this area of low pressure is what's going to give us a better chance of rain by Thursday. Hour by hour, here's how your Tuesday is going to play out. Lots of clouds out there, but we do have a 20% chance of a possible shower. So it's a very small chance, but don't be alarmed if you do get stuck under one of those isolated showers. Temperatures will be in the lower 80s today. Probably just a degree or so cooler than yesterday. Yesterday we topped out at about 84 degrees reported in at Camp Mabry. So again, we could be just a couple degrees cooler than that. Here's the area of low pressure right now at the Four Corners region. That's slowly going to slide east, so it will remain north of us. But what it is going to do is act as a lifting mechanism and activate some better rain shower chances by Thursday. Still on the minimal side, but a 30% chance for some showers for your Thursday forecast. That's going to be right ahead of a cold front that passes through very early Friday morning. We're talking the middle of the night. You'll probably be asleep, and we're not expecting severe weather with this. It's rather dry ahead of the front, as a matter of fact, but it will change our winds and bring in a cooler, drier air mass in store for Friday and for the rest of the weekend also. Mold is expected to be in the high category today. You can keep yourself up to date every single day in the Statesman. So your 7-day forecast, a little bit on the gloomy side today, Wednesday, and Thursday. Once we get to Friday, we're going to coast through Mother's Day weekend. And Avid Reyes has the latest on traffic. How are the roads looking this morning?
A lot busier now that we've officially hit rush hour traffic. There are a few incidents I want to hit on this morning. If you're traveling in North Austin, this is going to affect you. Lights are flashing red at Palmer Lane and the frontage road of I-35. So this is going to cause some slowdowns for you this morning. There is a crash we are watching a little bit south of that area at St. John's Avenue. There's a crash at Cameron Road. One lane is down, so definitely causing slowdowns. You can see that there is traffic slowing down in this area. So if you're trying to catch 290 or 183, watch out for this crash. Guys, back to you.
Target trying to one-up its competitors, Amazon and Walmart.
The retailer wants to start delivering household cleaning products to consumers. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo explain how it all works.
In today's Tech Bites, Target wants to bring household essentials to your front door.
It's testing a new service called Target Restock that would compete with Amazon Pantry. Customers will be able to have basic items delivered to their homes by the next business day.
Popular navigation app Waze has used lots of celebrity voices for its turn-by-turn directions. One new addition, you may have heard it, Mr. T.
But now it lets you record your own voice so you can give directions to yourself. It's all part of a new update for Android users.
Well, sounds like a great idea. It's hard to improve on an Oreo cookie, but even Oreo thinks it can be done.
Nabisco is holding a contest for a creative new flavor, so you can text your idea, post it on Oreo's website, or post it on social media with the hashtag MyOreoCreations.
And the prize for first place, $500,000.
But how many Oreos do you get?
That is truly priceless.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Good day.
Some small raindrops are possible as you're heading to school this morning. Your bus stop forecast is looking a little gloomy. We're talking lots of clouds, lots of humidity. That's going to give us patchy drizzle possible this morning, and then a 20% chance of rain throughout the rest of the day. So it's on the low side, but don't expect sun today. Mostly cloudy afternoon is in store. Temperatures by about lunchtime in the 70s. Daytime highs will be in the lower 80s. So don't expect a warm day either. We will see lots of clouds out there. That's going to keep our UV forecast in the moderate category, only at 4 today. Guys, back to you.
Erica, thanks. Austin School District considering asking taxpayers to foot the bill for a $1.2 billion bond. The money would pay for tearing down and rebuilding T.A. Brown Elementary School, which shut down last year for safety issues, building 3 other schools to deal with overcrowding and other projects. The measure, if approved, could appear on the November ballot. Little girl is recovering after she was attacked by a kangaroo in Alabama. On Saturday, a 9-year-old named Cheyenne White was visiting a safari park with her mom and a 3-year-old sister when the kangaroo reached through the fence, grabbed her by the hair, and bit her on the head. She's now okay, but she did need 14 stitches.
Glad that it got me instead of my baby sister, because it would have hurt her even worse.
So far, no comment from the park. There are signs warning visitors to enter the area at their own risk and several other signs saying, "I bite." Cheyenne's mom says the park needs to install a better barrier system. An Austin police officer off the job this morning. The shocking thing he admitted to doing during a sexual assault investigation. That's coming up.
When I had the rash, it was like being set on fire where this rash was around my leg.
Just hearing about flesh-eating bacteria can make you cringe. This morning we verify the myths about it and whether or not you need to be worried about beaches in Texas. Stay with us.
This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Welcome back. 6:30 is your time.
Beautiful scene here at Lady Bird Lake on this Tuesday morning. You can see downtown Austin through the trees there as JP zooms in. See if anybody's going for a jog there on the bridge. Oh, look out, there's a couple of bugs.
Yeah.
Be careful out there, JP.
You know, the humidity is something definitely that we're going to be dealing with this morning, right? Let's check in with Storm Team Meteorologist Erica Lopez. We'll get to Anavita in just a second with the traffic.
Yeah, that's right. Humidity levels have slowly increased. Even this morning, a couple degrees more humid than where we were about an hour ago, but lots of cloudy conditions out there. 60s is your temperature across pretty much the entire viewing area. 63 is the dew point. When we started Daybreak this morning, we were at 61, so slowly increasing. It's not going to be a fun, dry day out there. Really sticky. Expect those conditions to remain throughout the entire day. Here's a look at your dew points throughout the viewing area. Mid to lower 60s for everyone. Daytime highs today, 82. Lots of clouds. A mostly cloudy day is expected. Also, a 20% chance of an isolated shower. This morning, patchy drizzle could be something you run into. And again, a very minimal percentage, but just keep that in mind for your Tuesday afternoon. Turning things over to Anavita Reyes. She has the latest on traffic concerns and giving us our update this morning.
Absolutely. Take a look at this. This is I-35 at Palmer Lane. This is actually east of I-35, Palmer Lane and McAllen Pass. It's not looking good there at all. A lot of red here. That's because the light is out. So pack a lot of patience, extra coffee, and extra time this morning as you hit the roads. If you're traveling in that area, lights are out, so it's going to cause some backups. Accident here, St. John's Avenue. Accident at Cameron Road. This is definitely causing backups here. One lane is down. If you're trying to get on 290 or 183, this is going to slow you down this morning. Guys, back to you.
Anavita, thanks. New this morning, an update on the search for an Austin man who went missing while fishing off the Gulf Coast. According to the Caller Times, in Corpus Christi, the body of 53-year-old Kevin Farrell was just recovered about 8 o'clock last night. A friend of Farrell helped identify the body. The Coast Guard saying they've been searching for him in Capano Bay since Saturday after a Good Samaritan reported him missing. It was reported that a small craft was found idling with a fishing pole and a cell phone in it, but no person on board. The cause of his death still under investigation.
6:32, an Austin police officer has been fired after leaking secure information about a sexual assault investigation to the suspect in the case. Now, a disciplinary memo from Interim Chief Brian Manley says Officer Carlos Mayfield admitted to accessing records without authorization and then relaying some of the details to the suspect. The memo says Mayfield told investigators he accessed a police report for an ex-girlfriend who is a mother of the suspect. The DA's office eventually dropped the compromised sexual assault case and refiled a new assault with injury charge. A 63-year-old man is behind bars this morning accused of a murder earlier this year. Austin police say Charles Reedy was arrested for the murder of Glenn Burford. Burford was killed in East Austin in March. He was found stabbed at a bus stop after being stabbed nearby. And At a benefit held in his honor earlier this year, friends of his told us he was transitioning out of homelessness. This is the second time Reedy has been arrested for murder. In December of 2001, he was arrested for the murder of John Teller. He was convicted for the murder but then released in December of 2006 on appeal. His bond is set at $100,000.
Big concern for the so-called sanctuary cities bill now that it will become law is that undocumented immigrants may become fearful of law enforcement, and that fear could keep victims and witnesses of crimes from reporting them. Senate Bill 4 will now require law enforcement agencies across the state to honor U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detainers. The Safe Alliance, the organization here in Austin that serves victims of sexual abuse and domestic violence, says the majority of its clients are Hispanic and recently seen a decrease in those willing to report sexual assaults to law enforcement.
And what we have seen over the last 3 months is a decrease in the number of people that are reporting. So it's a decrease in the willingness to report a sexual assault.
Now, on average, Safe Alliance provides 60 exams a month. In February of last year, just 3 people decided not to report crimes compared to 8 this February. For the first time, we're hearing the warning from former acting Attorney General Sally Yates about President Donald Trump's first national security advisor, Michael Flynn. Yates told Congress yesterday she warned the White House that Flynn could be blackmailed after lying to his bosses about his contacts with the Russian ambassador.
The vice president was unknowingly making false statements to the public, and because we believed that General Flynn was compromised with respect to the Russians. We believed that the Russians knew this, and that created a compromise situation, a situation where the national security advisor essentially could be blackmailed by the Russians.
Now, that warning was not the only one. President Obama personally warned President-elect Trump against hiring Flynn when they met in the Oval Office just 2 days after the election last November. Yet Michael Flynn stayed in the administration for months until the conflict appeared in the news.
Well, 6:35 is your time, and it's crunch time for Texas lawmakers. Thursday marks the cutoff for bills in the state house to get tentative approval if they have a chance at becoming law. And that means it's down to the wire for Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick if he wants to pass the bathroom bill. 2 proposals are in the House right now, SB 6 and House Bill 2899. The House bill would get rid of non-discrimination ordinances in several Texas cities, but it's looking more and more likely that both bills are dead in the House.
The TSA is making some changes to try and keep you safe. The Transportation Security Administration launching a new national framework program designed to better protect areas located outside of security screening zones. The TSA hopes this will reduce potential terror attacks from occurring.
Well, some startling video this morning as neighbors rushed to help a little girl trapped underneath an SUV. On Sunday, police in Philly say the 9-year-old and another girl were crossing the street when they were hit. The 10-year-old was able to jump up and run away, but the other was trapped underneath. That's when, without hesitation, witnesses jumped into action, and with every bit of strength they had, they lifted the vehicle off the little girl. The 9-year-old was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but is expected to be okay. No word yet on if that driver will face any charges.
A Houston area gym getting a lot of heat this morning for an offensive ad that aims to end childhood obesity. Take a look. The Gold's Gym flyer features overweight children. One capture saying, quote, "My fat may be funny to you, but it's killing me." The other says, quote, "It's hard to be a little girl when you're not." One mother got a hold of the ad, posting it on Facebook, saying it promotes body shaming rather than encouraging kids to exercise.
I just thought, like, what if, like, a teenager sees this and thinks, you know, that would be really hurtful to me to see a message like that. I saw it and I thought, that seems like a really odd message.
The owner of the Gold's Gym reached out to the mother and apologized. He also said he never intended to offend anyone with the ad and will be more thoughtful when it comes to helping kids live active lifestyles.
Well, this morning, Southwest Airlines is switching to a new $500 million reservation system. And here's what it means for you. They're dropping the practice of overbooking and launching more red-eye flights. The move is the airline's biggest technology update ever.
A woman in New Hampshire tried an interesting technique to try and pull a fast one over the police. Take a look. It's supposed to be her car inspection sticker, but it's made out of cheese wrappers. Police say the woman actually used the wrappers and cutouts from flyers to try and fake them out. In the end, her car, it was impounded until she gets a real inspection. Time for a check of the forecast with our real meteorologist, Erica Lopez. Hi, Erica.
Hey there. Good morning. Well, we have some light drizzle now developing for our eastern counties. Very, very minimal, but keep that in mind. It could be something you wake up to this morning. So really just some spotty, drizzly conditions. Nothing to affect your morning commute. It's dark and gloomy out there, needless to say, and muggy also. Live look just outside of our studios. We're in the mid to upper 60s and dew points in the lower 60s, but still an increase from just an hour ago. We were at 61, now at 63. That's the southeast wind that's going to continue to be in our viewing area for the next couple of days. That's also going to keep in a 20% chance of showers for all day today and tomorrow. It's a small, slim chance of showers, but just keep that in mind as you head out the door today. Our KVUE photo of the morning goes out to Texas Gypsy Soul from Instagram. He used the hashtag KVUE, so I was able to pick that up and show the photo to you guys on Daybreak. Let us know how you're enjoying the weather, how you're enjoying the outdoors, and we'd love to feature your photos on Daybreak with hashtag KVUE. Back to you.
Erica, thanks a lot. Flesh-eating bacteria has caused a panic among a lot of beachgoers along the Texas coast. But is there really a risk of contracting it? With so many stories out there about this, we wanted to know what's real and what's fake. It's called Vibrio vulnificus. It's commonly called flesh-eating bacteria. We spoke with Infectious Diseases Clinic Director Dr. Alfred Scott Lee with the University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston about the bacteria. He says it's a myth that you can contract this at the beach. Dr. Lee says the bacteria occurs most often in warm, muddy water, not bodies of water like the Gulf of Mexico. So how does it enter the body? We asked if you swallow some water or if it gets into your eyes, could the bacteria get into your body? Dr. Lee says, no, that's false. He says research shows it tends to get into your body through wounds, even very small wounds. And get this, the odds of actually contracting it are 1 in a million here in the state of Texas.
10% of people will wind up with an amputation. Probably 80% will lose some amount of tissue from their legs or their extremities, and there's a 60% mortality rate.
Now, over the last 15 years, we have seen a gradual increase in the bacteria in Texas. In 2001, 14 cases were reported. In 2015, there were 35 cases reported. Dr. Lee says most of those cases are in Galveston and Harris counties. Some of these areas where Vibrio can be: Sabine Lake, Trinity, and Matagorda Bays. And according to Dr. Lee, Vibrio can be treated with antibiotics. Symptoms include high fever, sepsis, and chills. So to sum this up, the flesh-eating bacteria extremely rare in Texas. There is no need to cancel your beach plans because of it. Yvonne?
Good to know. Thank you. 641 still ahead. A Texas woman scammed out of thousands of dollars.
I feel like a fairly intelligent woman and hard to find myself in this situation.
How searching for love online cost her and the message she wants you to hear. Now, there are so many fun and special places here in the city of Austin. Coming up, our Authentic Austin series continues with a look at some of the unique spots that make our area so great.
Welcome back. 6:44 is your time. Here are some of today's top stories. Complete chaos at the Fort Lauderdale airport overnight. Frustrated passengers letting their tempers get the best of them after Spirit Airlines canceled several flights. The airline said they didn't have the crews and blamed unions for the backlog. They're in the middle of labor negotiations. Pilots refusing to fly in hopes of influencing the outcome. Authorities took several people into custody. Travis County Commissioners will decide today how to keep county programs going without state funding. When Travis County changed its policy earlier this year to only hold on to suspects for federal immigration agents under certain situations, the governor's office stripped Travis County of $1.5 million in grant funding. That funding covers programs like Family Violence, Veterans Court, and Family Drug Treatment Court. Today, they are trying to crunch the numbers to figure out a way to pay for it without those grants. Yvonne?
Well, there are so many wonderful places, Brian, to explore in and around Austin. Whether you've heard about these spots, frequent them, or have yet to add it to your bucket list, well, here's a look at a few Austin gems. Get up close and personal with the peacocks at Mayfield Park and Preserve off West 35th Street. These magnificent birds are hard to miss, but if you still can't find them strutting around the lawns,
oh my goodness, yeah.
Look up.
I heard them.
Open to the public and maintained by the Austin Parks and Recreation, Mayfield Park offers 21 acres of walking trails, gardens, ponds, and wildlife.
It's just, you know, beautiful place to stroll around.
The park is open daily from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. and admission is free. This spot is simply
one of those delightful little corners of Austin.
In the mood for some architectural drama? Check out the 360 Bridge, also known as the Pennybacker Bridge. No part of the structure touches the water, allowing Lake Austin to be free from support columns and giving fishermen and boaters plenty of space. With a gorgeous view of downtown and scenic hills, this bridge is known by travelers and locals alike as one of the best spots in Austin to snap a photo. A great way to take it all in is to hike to the top. The pull-off area to park is located off the southbound lane of 360.
I read and seen pictures of this place.
But Don Tarrant of North Texas wanted to experience Hamilton Pool in person. Located in Dripping Springs off Highway 71, the preserve's pool and grotto were formed when the dome of an underground river collapsed due to massive erosion thousands of years ago. The views are spectacular.
I was thinking it should be a national park. It's got all the uniquenesses that national parks have.
Swimming is sometimes allowed. It's $15 per vehicle to get in. Cash and checks are accepted, and you will need to make a reservation. Finally, there's nothing quite like 6th Street on a weekend night. The sights and sounds downtown are always a huge draw, but you don't have to buy a ticket for this free show, although tipping the street performers is customary. In one corner, you'll find a golden fireman kissing hands and taking pictures. Walk a little further, and you'll bump into this talent, playing classical music on his keyboard. Yep, strolling up and down 6th Street is at times just as entertaining as paying a cover to get into a club.
Tomorrow we skip the chain stores and look at some authentic Austin shops. If you'd like to see these stories from this week, you can just go to our website, KVUE.com. Check out all the authentic Austin series. Boy, that bacon looks good right about now.
That's from Dirty Martin's on the Drag. So many things to look at, so many things to see, and the weather will not be hindering our plans, right?
For
the weekend weather.
There you go. There you
to
go.
clarify.
Yeah, so it's pretty gloomy out there this morning. We have some rain shower chances we're talking about the next 3 days, but this system is going to push through us and give us a gorgeous weekend to look forward to. Let's just get through these gloomy days. As of now, dew points are in the 60s. Temperatures in the 60s also across the viewing area. The reason for this is this high pressure that's continued to remain just to the south and east of us. That's funneling in Gulf moisture and activating some light showers right now closer to Houston, but still some patchy drizzle has been seen in our viewing area. And then we're monitoring the area of low pressure that will give us better rain shower chances by about Thursday. Here's how today's going to play out. Lots of clouds out there. Keep in mind a 20% chance of an isolated shower is possible. Patchy drizzle this morning. We've already had some reports out there, especially for our eastern counties. So you want to look out for that also. Temperatures, your daytime highs will be in the lower 80s, under average. Average is about 85. Our forecasted high is in the lower 80s today. So this area of low pressure is what's going to give us a better rain shower chance by Thursday. Slowly migrating to the east. As it does, that's going to act as a lifting mechanism to give us a 30% chance of some rain shower activity by Thursday afternoon. I think that's going to be our busiest and best chance for rain shower chances in the next 72 hours. Once that rain pushes out, we will have a cold front early Friday morning past our viewing area. That's going to help bring us a north wind and a drier air mass to enjoy for the weekend and including Friday. Mold in the high category today. Check out your latest counts every single day in the Statesman. Here's how the next 7 days are going to play out. Let's just get through the next 3 days because Friday and the weekend is looking great. Turning things over to traffic reporter Ana V. Reyes. She has the latest.
Absolutely. We'll take a look at this. Rush hour is in full effect, and The light at Palmer Lane and McAllen Pass is out, so it's making your commute that much difficult. You see all of this red, not good this morning. So pack a lot of extra time, extra coffee and patience this morning as you hit the road. You may want to take DeSalle Road or Harris Ridge Boulevard to get to I-35 and your commute this morning, just to make it a little bit faster. Again, the McAllen Pass light at Palmer Lane is out. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. It's not uncommon these days to search for love online, but navigating the cyber dating scene is not second nature for everyone. A Texas woman lost big in her search for Mr. Right, and she doesn't want anyone else to experience her nightmare. Emily Thompson joined Match.com in January after more than a decade without dating, and in March, 2 months later, she connected with Robert Parker, a soldier serving in Special Forces based in Cairo. The two texted daily. Thompson says they were in love and they talked about a future.
I know I love you with all my heart. You mean the world to me more than you will ever know. And then when I said to him, you know, you're so sweet to me. Why are you so sweet to me? And then he sends, I can't stop thinking about you, Emily.
He told her he was stationed in Fort Hood and was going to retire very soon and move to Dallas, but that time came a few weeks later. Well, he told Thompson that he was caught in customs in Dubai and needed her to pay for various paperwork to pass through. So she wired money to Citibank in New York. When she discovered it was a scam from an IP address all the way in Africa, it was too little too late. Her bank account was drained and her heart broken.
I lost $131,000, which was a lot of the money that I've saved up in the last 17 years since my divorce.
Thompson hopes others can learn from her mistake. She has since reported the scam to Match.com, but the money is gone and no one is sure who the man in these photos actually is.
Just sad. Mother and daughter getting to know one another this morning after 52 years apart. Our cameras were there as the two reunited.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now that is a hug. A young mother, Donna Pavey, says she was forced by her parents years ago to give up her child. She's thought about her child, the lady you see there on the right, ever since. And Sharon Glidden found out she was adopted recently after her adoptive parents died. So she went in search of her family history. A DNA test helped Glidden find Pavey, and they decided to meet up in Burnett, where she lives.
I feel like I'm floating. It is surreal for me.
Oh yeah. I'm finally breathing a little.
Now Glidden says she wants to build her mom a home next to hers in Oklahoma. Says they're never going to be separated again. You can watch the full video of their emotional reunion online at KVUE.com.
That's a great story.
Wonderful
I was
story.
crying at 4:30 this morning. Too early to be in tears, right? Well, a live look outside this Tuesday morning. We might have some rain in the forecast, just slight chances today and tomorrow. We're going to check in with Erica in just a minute. But you know what? The weekend looks great, so don't worry about that.
All right, Palmer Lane and McAllen Light is back on, so no worries there. I-35 northbound Buda to downtown, 38 minutes, 31 minutes Round Rock to downtown I-35 southbound. Erica, how does weather shape up?
Well, patchy drizzle possible this morning, but keep in mind 20% chance of showers today and tomorrow. We'll increase it on Thursday. Check out the weekend, guys. Sunny, perfect timing for Mother's Day weekend. If you have any outdoor plans, brunch plans, the patio will be the go-to spot.
Let's just get over this hump, right?
Get over the hump.
Yeah.
Lady Bird Lake on this Tuesday looking nice. Hope you have a nice day.